In 1983, we created the internet, and we invented the text message in 1992. Then in 1994, Sony made the first PlayStation to play Crash Bandicoot. Then in 1995, we produced the DVD. All of these revolutionary technologies were made just 30 years ago and have advanced exponentially in recent times. And to be honest, no one at the time expected you to be able to store the power of a computer into a small phone. So the question still remains, what technologies am I betting on that will happen by 2050? Let's just find out. My first prediction is that content will be more immersive for users in the metaverse and virtual reality space. Companies like Microsoft are investing billions into this notion, and their recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard means Xbox could soon be bringing Call of Duty into the metaverse. Obviously, we all know Meta is investing heavily into this as well, but other apps like Tinder, believe it or not, could soon allow dates in virtual reality or social settings that users can mingle within. What I've also noticed recently is that users aren't really interested in 4K and tend to just stick with 180p. So if upgraded picture quality isn't important for users, then what is? I can see a platform like YouTube taking advantage of this opportunity and using Matterport cameras that create a 3D render of videos that can then be converted into 3D worlds. So hypothetically, Mr. Beast could record his video set and allow users to move freely and watch videos in a sandbox. This could also apply to movies. Just imagine watching Top Gun in a cinema, but instead sitting in the plane next to Tom Cruise. Of course, I'm talking about quite advanced technology right now, but I've seen this immersive content in theme parks. I remember going to Universal's theme park where I went on the Harry Potter ride, and they sit you on this arm that you move with the camera, which is almost like watching a 4D movie almost. You actually feel like you're in the movie. So at the present day, this is the perfect time to invest because we haven't moved from mobile phones to VR goggles quite yet. So I personally recommended this space Unity since they're already industry leaders in AR and VR games and have mass software engineers working on these developments, proving key for high returns. And if we talk about hardware instead, Nvidia will power the GPUs for VR goggles since they've already made swift developments in this area, not forgetting that they've led as manufacturers in computer chips for a long time. In my last video, I talked about China utilizing TikTok as a vessel to gather more data, and this sector will only grow bigger from here. Digital assets are becoming just as important as physical ones, with large corporations gathering data on users and utilizing the ad space to generate revenue, as we all know. Google, Facebook, TikTok, and many more not only present ads for their own platforms, but also by tracking your microphone, by tracking your screen time, by tracking how you swipe on the screen, tracking what you type, and so on. Also, don't think it's just when you have your app open. It's at any time, also when your screen's off. Moreover, they offload this information to other companies which sell you more ads, and this is why they're some of the biggest corporations in the world. The most revolutionary companies in the world are based on old practices but are now digitized. Airbnb used the ideas of hotels and offered a platform for users to list houses or spare rooms to be rented out so they can command a profit. Uber saw an opportunity to replace taxis without owning any cars at all, and as we know now, they own the biggest rideshare company in the world with a much respected brand. I know this information hasn't exactly been positive because I'm really worried about the privacy of users while using phones, VR goggles, whatever it is, because I've seen countless times where my phone isn't even in the room. I walk up to someone, have a conversation, and then their phone has tracked it and they link through Google and Samsung, my devices, to give me ads on my own phone or computer or whatever. It's crazy. Nonetheless though, if you invest in these companies, I'm sure it will make you money in the long term. I personally recommend Palantir, whose mission statement is to build software that empowers organizations to effectively integrate their data, decisions, and operations. Essentially, they optimize companies' data to make more money as they help track the administration of vaccines, data-driven decision-making for the government, as well as other intelligence operations. And you can't look past Google, who have already established their hardware through phones, and Google Home devices that can connect every part of your home with voice recognition. They also gather immense ad revenue as the biggest search engine in the world, who also sells data to other companies. And that is why this is definitely one of my favorite sectors to invest in for the future. The next great idea I'd love to invest in is the integration of engineering to our bodies and minds. There's many great ideas such as Neuralink that are helping people gather full range of motion. But the ultimate opportunity here is connecting all our brains together almost like a hive mind just on the internet. I know this seems quite distant, but companies are already building upon these ideas by making us almost like cyborgs. I know this topic is quite contentious and people will be reluctant to even try these ideas out, but best believe the combination of robot, body and mind is fast approaching. This also transfers into nanotechnology where we may be able to track diseases before they even happen, making humanity live longer. This opportunity in the health sector is a major space for innovation, and this massive industry will rapidly rise. However, I haven't seen any companies that are public that I'm really interested in investing yet, but sure to do your research and you might find one yourself. My next big sector to invest in for the next 30 years is renewable energies. A lot of people are being confused in this space because they're buying Teslas, which are really good, but they're not 100% eco-friendly. Yes, they're reducing exhaust emissions, but what most people don't realize is that the way you charge your car is still through coal mining. So instead we have to move away from the high carbon emission energies and focus on cleaner sources. Another common misconception is that nuclear energy is bad for the world as it just blows up at any time. What happened in Chernobyl in 1986 was a complete disaster, although newer age technology and safer measures should eliminate these occurrences. Nuclear energy in extreme basic terms is basically a concept called nuclear fission, where these small uranium atoms, anyway, they're in water, and then this chain reaction where neutrons are added in and they split apart, and this causes heat, generates heat again. Anyway, generates heat, then this causes steam to rise because they're in water, and the steam turns a turbine. This is a finance channel, not a nuclear physics channel, okay? So don't expect too much from me. Or instead we can use solar or wind renewables that are favoured by many governments worldwide, including the US, who are expecting by 2030 that it accounts for 72 to 85% of the total electrical supply. Either way, I expect this sector to boom, and Enphase will be the space's leader in solar energy microinverters, battery storage and EV chargers. It has already gone up in price a fair amount, you could say, in recent years. However, I believe it will continue into the near future. Tesla also, through the SolarCity subsidiary. Do you know how long you know what? I give up on saying those two words. That's the biggest tongue twister there is. How many takes it's taken me to say those words together? Tesla also, through its SolarCity subsidiary. That is such a tongue twister. Anyway, it provides energy storage, solar roof tiles and solar panels for residential homes, along with, of course, the major car company. Oh my fucking god. Which has also rapidly risen in price. Although a lot of people have already jumped on these large energy companies, be sure to do some more research because you yourself might find another one. If we want to talk about securing and optimizing our own finances, whether it's with cryptocurrency or some government digital currency, one thing's for sure, and that is blockchain is the answer. With over 12,000 innovative cryptocurrencies like Shiba-Inu, Rocket and Fedora Coin, but no, seriously, a lot of varying sectors will need to use these blockchain systems for medical records, taxes, voting, entertainment, etc. Now, it's really hard to pick a specific company to invest in because there's lots that are working on it, but I will keep track of certain companies that are adopting cryptocurrencies or blockchain into their systems, or even allocating funds to this venture because I think it's an opportunity to make exuberant wealth. The thing is though, I believe regular people won't even realize they're using blockchain systems because companies will integrate it so subtly. Anyway guys, those are my 5 favourite technologies that I'm betting on will happen by 2050. Click on last video, I talked about how China will overthrow the US in this changing world order. Also don't forget to like the video and subscribe down below because I'm trying to get my message out to as many people as possible, and you liking, supporting the channel will help contribute to the mission. If you want to buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, check out my affiliate link with CoinSpot down below where you can get low fees on crypto. My socials are also below, but anyway guys, heading out.